Social Security payment date you've relied on for years has suddenly changed. No warning, no explanation, just a new schedule that could affect your rent, your bills, your groceries, and the financial choices you make every single month. Sounds unsettling, right? Well, that unsettling feeling is exactly why you clicked this video. And you're about to see why this new law is sending shockwaves across the country, especially for Americans trying to build a stable, wealthy future. Welcome back to YouTube USA Benefits Update, the channel where smart Americans come to stay ahead of the curve, protect their money, and unlock financial opportunities before anyone else even notices them. Today's episode is going to shake things up. Because what's happening right now with Social Security isn't just a small rule tweak. It's part of a much bigger shift, one that could impact how you plan your income, how you invest, and how you maintain financial stability in a time when the economy feels like a roller coaster. And the truth is, this upcoming change isn't just a one-time update. It's a warning signal of what's coming next. Let me take you into Act 1, how we got here. For decades, Social Security payments have followed a predictable schedule, early month for SSI, then staggered according to birthdays for retirement and disability benefits. Stability, consistency, a system millions depend on. But behind closed doors, yes, the kind of meetings where the coffee probably isn't good and everyone looks tired, lawmakers have been debating something very different. They've been arguing that the current system is outdated, too slow, and too vulnerable to delays caused by holidays, banking issues, or federal disruptions. Now here's the twist. At first, they weren't planning to change anything. But after the pandemic, repeated federal shutdown threats, rising inflation, and massive pressure to modernize Social Security systems, they felt cornered. And when politicians feel cornered, they don't step back, they push forward hard. Here's where it gets interesting. A new law, quietly passed, barely reported, and fast-tracked through several committees, is about to change payment distribution dates again. And this time, the changes may be permanent, not temporary, not experimental, permanent. You might be wondering, why now? Why so fast? Well, stay with me, because the answer isn't what you think. And what comes next may change the way you plan the rest of 2025. Before I reveal what the new law actually changes, let me ask you this. Have you ever noticed that Social Security always updates something right when people are finally getting comfortable? It's like they wait for everyone to relax, then boom, new rule, new requirement, new deadline. I mean, seriously, if Social Security were a person, it would be that one friend who keeps rearranging your furniture without asking. Now, let's move to what this law actually means for your payment schedule. But I'm warning you, some of you are going to be frustrated, while others might actually benefit. The new law shifts payment dates in a way that gives the Social Security Administration more flexibility to send money earlier, later, or in new staggered batches, depending on operational needs, system upgrades, or federal adjustments. Yes, they can change your date when they want based on internal conditions. That means your usual second Wednesday might not stay second Wednesday. First of the month SSI might shift forward or backward depending on calendar conflicts. For many Americans, that means one month your payment hits early and the next month you might be waiting longer than usual. Emotionally, this is a nightmare scenario for people who budget tightly, but financially, it could also be an opportunity for people who know how to adapt, because when the system changes, advantages open up for those who pay attention. Let's zoom out for a moment. Think about your financial life. Every decision you make, saving, investing, paying loans, setting up automatic payments, depends on one thing: knowing when your money arrives. This law disrupts that, and disruptions can be scary, but they can also create momentum for change, for growth, for realignment. Sometimes the greatest leaps forward come after the biggest shakeups. If you're feeling nervous, that's normal, but I don't want you to feel helpless. I want you to feel prepared. That's why the next part of this story matters even more. Act 2 begins with a question. What happens when millions of Americans suddenly have unpredictable payment dates? Well, if you've ever seen people panic during a bank outage or a delayed deposit, you already know. People get anxious, bills get missed, overdrafts happen, and trust in the system starts to decline. Lawmakers know this, banks know this, and trust me, credit card companies definitely know this. So what's coming next is a wave of financial adjustments across the private sector. Some banks are preparing extra deposit buffers. Some loan companies are reevaluating grace periods. Even certain landlords are adjusting payment policies because they anticipate shifting deposit patterns. And if big companies are preparing, you should too. But don't panic, just breathe for a moment, and remember, knowledge is power. You're ahead of millions of people simply because you're here, listening to this before the changes start making headlines. Now, let's interrupt the heavy stuff for just a second. Seriously, take a moment. If your brain feels like it's buffering, that's normal. These changes are a lot to take in. And if you're thinking, why can't Social Security just leave things alone? Trust me, you're not alone. Somewhere out there, a government official is probably watching this video like, hey, we tried. And the rest of us are just trying to figure out why decisions about billions of dollars get made faster than decisions about fixing potholes. All right, pattern interrupt over. Back to the important stuff. The new law also expands digital payment systems, meaning Social Security may begin testing alternative deposit methods like same-day transfers, weekend deposits, or optional digital disbursement. These changes could benefit those looking to build wealth through faster cash flow. Yes, earlier money can mean earlier investments, earlier bill payments, or earlier opportunities for financial leverage. But here's the cliffhanger. While earlier payments sound exciting, it also means something else. Something they haven't said publicly yet. Something you need to know before it hits your account. Don't worry, I'm getting to it. And when I tell you, it's going to make you rethink how you plan the next 12 months. Before I reveal that final piece, let's transition into Act 3, the outcome, the solution, and the path forward. You see, when payment dates shift, it's not just an inconvenience. It's a signal of a system entering a modernization phase. And whenever a system modernizes, there are winners and losers. The winners are the ones who prepare early, strategize, and use the shifts to strengthen their financial advantage. The losers are the ones who assume nothing is changing. I want you to be in the first group. So here's what experts are quietly recommending behind the scenes. Things most people won't hear until it's too late. First, adjust your automatic payments so they don't fall directly on your usual Social Security day. Build a 3-day cushion. Next, if you invest, stocks, crypto, real estate, whatever, keep an eye on how early deposits could benefit you. Opportunities appear when money arrives at unexpected times. And now, that final piece I promised you. Once the new payment system fully rolls out, Social Security will be able to shift deposit times even more in the future without requiring a new law. Yes, future changes may happen automatically. This is the foundation for even bigger updates coming down the line, including restructuring benefit categories, shifting calculation windows, and possibly even revising COLA timing. That's the real story. Today's law is just the first domino. So what should you do? Start adjusting now. Start building flexibility. Start paying closer attention to updates, because in the next year, the people who adapt will thrive, while the people who don't will struggle. And I know you're not one of the ones who struggles. You're here. You're aware. You're taking control of your financial future. Before we wrap up, let me ask you a quick question to reset your attention one last time. If Social Security can change your payment date, what else do you think could change next? Benefits? Eligibility rules? Taxation? If that question made your heart skip a beat, good. That means you understand the stakes. You've just completed a deep dive into one of the most important Social Security updates of the decade. And if you're watching this far, I know you care about your financial future more than the average viewer. So here's what I want you to do next. Tap the end screen video that's about to appear, the one covering the most important USA benefits updates you absolutely need to prepare for. If today's news shook you, that video will complete the picture. It's not just another update, it's the missing half of everything you learned today. Click it now, and I'll meet you there.